Hello, everybody. Welcome, Little Rusty Bucket. Subscribe to the channel and drop a like on this video. Trying to hit 40k subs, so that subscription would be much appreciated. In today's video, I wanted to talk about Zach LaVine because, man, oh man, do I feel bad for the guy. I have a very long and complicated relationship with Zach LaVine because he went from being one of my favorite players to probably one of my least favorite players over the years playing with the Chicago Bulls. Much of this was not his own fault, and I think I have a tendency with Bulls players to project my frustration with the front office onto the players themselves, which is definitely not the most fair thing in the world. And that's a big reason why I was so anti-Josh Giddey when he first got to Chicago. And in the case of Zach LaVine, it just became a case of buying in and really just getting way too invested in the notion that that was a franchise player, that Zach LaVine was capable of being the number one guy. And that is why the Chicago Bulls spent so much time building around him, but also why they gave him so much goddamn money. And, you know, I can't exactly blame them for that, especially given the situation that they were in when he was added to the roster. They got him from the Jimmy Butler deal, and in his first 24 games, he did not have the best performance. He averaged 17 points per game. Efficiency was pretty rough, but they knew that he had the upside as a scorer because in his second year, he averaged 19 and was also one of the better three-point shooters in the NBA. So they were like, hey, Zach LaVine, go see if you can find a contract. And the Sacramento Kings actually offered Zach a contract that the Bulls then matched. And he proceeded to, in the next season, average 25 points per game. Then in the year after that, he managed to make an all-star selection, averaging 27 on 51, 42, 85 shooting splits. And yeah, I mean, I can't blame the Bulls for being like, this guy's the fucking guy at that point. But the major limitation he had was as a playmaker. Yes, he would put up a decent amount of assists, as you see right here at 4.9 assists per game. That ain't bad, but he was also a pretty high turnover player relative to that assist average. And he just spent so much time dribbling the ball that to only be a 4 assist per game guy while being that prolific of a ball handler just ain't the move in today's game. And the thing that always really bothered me about his game in Chicago was I felt like he was a better off the ball player, specifically as a catch and shoot option, because Zach LaVine is one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA and has been for a very long time. In fact, if we just look at his time in Chicago, excluding these 42 games, because annoyingly you cannot just select that year. It has to throw the Kings shit in there too. But his time in Chicago, I could also just look at this stat. Yeah, 39% from three on 7 attempts per game. That's with a decent amount of those being off of the dribble, but his catch and shoot numbers, I don't know where to find them right now, but they were phenomenal. He was one of the best shooters in the league. He was also a very, very good cutter whenever he actually attempted to do that. And I actually thought that he was thriving on the Chicago Bulls when they had their big breakout season before everything fell to shit after Lonzo Ball got hurt. I believe that, what damn year was that? Am I stupid? Was that long ago? It really was that long ago. Yeah, 21-22. That was probably the most I enjoyed Zach because he wasn't even first on the team in shots anymore. That title went to DeMar DeRozan, and he was playing more off ball, 39% on 7 threes per game. God damn, Lonzo. I miss Lonzo so much. Lonzo, please, why did you have to get hurt? This is literally the end of any possibility of me being happy right here. Yeah, he was just playing his role better. I also felt like he was a little bit better defensively in this context where he had to focus less on the offensive end of the floor. But of course, that all fell apart, and he spent the next couple of years putting up solid numbers and being like, man, I really fucking want this guy to get out of here already. And that finally did happen, just a little bit too late. They also gave him a massive contract that paid him like $50 million a year annually. And suddenly he became a negative asset because this became like, oh, a shooting guard who isn't much of a playmaker, who needs the ball in his hands a lot to be pretty effective. And he's making superstar money. thanks, but no thanks. I'd rather not take that player on, not to mention his defensive reputation. And like, I'm big on the notion of scoring and playmaking being congruent with each other. They are not separate categories. If you are a good passer but a bad scorer, I think you are a significantly worse playmaker than people will give you credit for. Like, that's why I'm just not that high on John Stockton or Rajon Rondo, and even to a lesser extent, Jason Kidd. Like, if you're getting 10 assists but 10 points, I don't actually think you're nearly as good of a playmaking threat as someone who is going to charge down the lane, grab the attention of the defense, make them fear you, and then like get like help off of other guys to create real opportunities. Like, to me, there's a difference between a system assist and then like an actually created assist. And you're more likely to get a system assist if you are not actively putting pressure on the defense and breaking down the defense. So Zach, he also had this issue just in the opposite way, where his scoring is so good, but his playmaking is worse. And because he's known to be a worse playmaker, the defense is more inclined to double team him, knowing that he is less likely to make a pass that will punish them. So that also just made him less and less valuable as a ball handler. Not to mention, he also lost a step in terms of his athleticism and became more and more and more of a jump shooter. So with that, he became a negative asset. But the Sacramento Kings, of course, being the team that they are, decided to trade for this guy in exchange for De'Aaron Fox in a 3-team deal that sent Fox to the Spurs. I kind of understand the logic of this trade as, hey, we need to go and get a real player who can score the ball, a guard who can substitute for De'Aaron Fox. But if you actually think about that for more than 30 seconds, it's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. Because it's quite obvious that after De'Aaron Fox was going to be traded, the Kings were going to stink, and they do. And Zach LaVine was not going to fix that. Can Zach score a similar amount of points on a similar efficiency to De'Aaron Fox? Sure. Can he even be better than him in some ways in terms of him being a far better three-point shooter? Also, sure. But he's not the playmaker that he is. He doesn't have the athleticism that he is. He doesn't get to the rim the way that he does. So it's not going to work. Not in the same way. It's not, and that's not Zach LaVine's fault. It's just the reality of the situation. Now, this year, Zach has been awesome. He is shooting 42% on 8 3-pointers per game, currently a career-high 61% on his 2-pointers. He's had some slower games recently. He had a 12-point game versus Denver and a 9-point game versus OKC and a 15-point game versus Denver. But before he started to slow down, he started this year super duper hot. His first 6 games of the season. Let me scroll side to side. That's so annoying. Hello? Okay, whatever. He was averaging 30. Now he's just in this shit situation again, on this shit ass team again, with fucking DeMar DeRozan again, with a offensively minded big man who is not very good defensively again. A bunch of young wings like Keegan Murray and Nick Clifford, who are like supposed to have upside but aren't really ready yet. Again, like, it's the same situation he's had throughout his career. He has been on garbage teams so many times. He has been in the playoffs once, didn't play very well while he was there, but I can't really blame him for that. And otherwise, he's a very good player. He's just not worth $50 million. So the positive that I have to end on here is that I do believe that Zach LaVine will be instantly valued more the moment he is on another team and he's making 25 to maybe $30 million. Like, him at that price point, you should feel great about. I also like that in Sacramento, he has, at least he did last year, taken on more of an off-the-ball role. He had, the games that I've watched, he has dribbled more. And I think that is primarily due to just how fucking broken the offense on that team is. Well, actually, I mean, he has, no, I was wrong. His career high percentages from 2 and 3 being assisted. Well, actually, his career high besides for Minnesota, his 2-point percentage is the highest of his career by 18%. So yeah, he has embraced more of the off-ball role now at the age of 30. I think he can be a phenomenal off-ball player on a really, really good offense. I'm not sure what the team for him is. I'd like to see him in Denver possibly, but there's a couple of teams that could use him absolutely, and I would like to see him on a team where he can comfortably be the third to fourth best player on that team, get his buckets, get his three-point shots up, and be a contributing winning player, because I do strongly believe that he can do that. We just haven't been able to see it because the situation around him throughout his career has just been so garbage. And as much as I definitely believe that he was overrated at his peak, as much as I definitely believe that he is far from ideal for a winning situation as your first option or even your second, but that doesn't mean he can't be a kick-ass third option on a good team. It doesn't mean he can't average like 18, 19 points and shoot 40% on 10 three-point attempts per game. Like, that is very much in the cards for him even still. And I really hope that the Sacramento Kings, it seems like they're about to blow it up. I don't know if they can actually trade Zach, but the fact that his contract is expiring does at least make it more plausible for that to happen. Oh, he has a player option. He does have that player option. I forgot about the player option. Oh boy, Zach. Oh boy, Zach. Well, this will be a test. Do you choose the money and stay in Sacramento? Or maybe you get traded somewhere else and you stay there. But the player option actually does make trading for him even harder. So he's probably just going to play out the rest of this contract in Sacramento. He's probably going to take the money. I can't blame him for that. But man, I would like to see him on another team so bad. Hey, Zach, can you turn down a cool $20 million so I can see you in a more fun situation? That would be great. I can't expect that, but man, it would be nice. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.